Apart from Jesus, you cannot understand the love of God. You see, Jesus is the embodiment of God's love. And when you understand this, you realize that God's love is not just some hippy-dippy flower child kind of sentimental, subjective emotionalism. God's love is substantive and gut-wrenching, gritty, sacrificial, selfless love that actually defies our ability to fully comprehend. The best we can do to understand God's love is to lift up our eyes and behold that beautiful man nailed to a cross, shredded to ribbons, bleeding and dying in excruciating agony, saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The depth and the profundity of the cross, I truly believe, is beyond our ability to understand. And in fact, even our best theological efforts fall pitifully shy here. And so, when we talk about the subject of salvation, when we talk about the subject of redemption, when we talk about the subject of atonement, we find ourselves lost for words. Paul famously described Jesus in Galatians chapter 2, verse 20 as the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Isn't that a mind-bending statement? The Son of God that loved me and gave himself for me. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about the atonement, because this is at the heart of the gospel message and especially salvation. When it comes to the atonement, theologians have put forward different theories to describe how it works. How did Jesus' death on the cross pay the price for our sins or bring about the forgiveness of our sins? How do those two things go together? And so there are several theories. One of the most well-known is called the penal substitutionary theory for the atonement. And this theory focuses on the legal aspect of the atonement. I think this is something that Westerners especially like, but actually it's also very central to the Jewish worldview. I mean, you go to the Old Testament, the Old Testament is built around the law. There's this very heavy legal emphasis. And so it's not just a Western thing, it's also a Hebrew thing. And it addresses the question of how can God be both just and merciful? If God simply forgives sin, that's not mercy, that's evil. I mean, how would you feel if someone that you loved was murdered, and then at the trial the judge said to the murderer, "You know what? I like you. I'm not going to charge you, I'm just going to let you go." Would you say, "Wow, what a nice, merciful judge"? No, you'd say that judge is a wicked and an unjust judge. Proverbs 17:15, he that justifies the wicked and he that condemns the righteous are both an abomination to the Lord. But even more serious, God is absolutely holy and just, as we discussed earlier, and he cannot act in a way that is contradictory to his own nature. So how can God satisfy both parts of who he is? How can he be both perfectly just and also perfectly merciful? The answer is Jesus. Jesus enters into the equation. The Son of God lays down his sinless life for our wicked world, the innocent willingly sacrificing for the guilty. So we read in Isaiah chapter 53, "Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all."
We invite you to join the Global Evangelist Alliance by visiting joingea.org. There you will find resources like the Evangelism Masterclass to help you boldly share your faith.